And I think that having a relationship with the Lord, it's like you have, again, something to like cling to versus just kind of being tossed with the wind. You have reason behind things versus people that don't have that. I feel like you're just kind of guessing and hoping, is this the right decision for my life now? I feel like it provides a lot of clarity. Whereas like if you don't have that in your life, you live a lot of your life in confusion. So I went to a Christian school out in Watertown. And then
what was it called?
You don't want to know.
A school called Calvary Baptist?
Yeah, that's where we went for grade school.
Yep. Wait, no, really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Did we go to grade school together?
Yeah, what the heck? Hold on a second. This is
crazy.
This just got weird.
The ocean to me is terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Very scary.
Yeah.
Super scary.
Called my parents and I was like, hey, just so you know, I
don't make it back.
Yeah. I didn't know if I would make it.
How many prayers were said?
all of them.
All of the prayers.
At that point, I was already freaking out.
My heart's racing right now. I can just make sure.
Did anyone have like a weapon, like a knife or a harpoon gun or something?
No.
Who are these people?
Well, this is our first time Instagram Live.
Yes, it is. Massive pressure right now.
I feel sweaty.
Heart's racing. Are you sweating?
Yeah.
I'm going to get a little sweaty.
Is that because it's just hot in here, or is it the pressure's building?
Both.
Yeah,
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah, it definitely gets toasty in here. That's for sure. So hopefully it doesn't get too hot. But this is not your first podcast.
Not my first.
That's your third or fourth, you said?
Yeah, like first live, though. First in person with
Same
everyone,
here. We can't make any mistakes.
Right.
No
be
clipping
very
out
precise
the
with my words tonight.
Yeah. For the pressure.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Campfire Council podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. With us on the council, we have Emilio, Joey's, myself, Luke, and with us, our friend and special guest, Clarice.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Let's go.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to join us.
Yes, of course. I wouldn't miss it. It's always like an honor to just like be welcomed into people's spaces. So I'm really excited to just chat with you guys and hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun to have some good conversations.
Yeah.
So before we dive into it, really quick, everyone, if you guys check out SewnandStrength.com, Miranda's Christian clothing brand, you guys can use code Campfire in all caps for 20% off. Check it out. She's got a lot of cool t-shirts, a lot of cool things you can wear to support and show the love of Jesus. So check that out. Code Campfire, 20% off. Also, if you're on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe. That'd mean a lot. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give us some 5-star reviews and a follow. That would mean a lot. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So I know you recently started a online business.
Cool. Somewhat recently.
Recently? Yeah. It was, when did you start it again then?
So I started coaching in person.
Yeah.
And then I did an online health coaching company. I was working for them for a couple years.
Mhm.
I went full-time online with Totality in
Gotcha.
2022.
Okay.
Yes.
Sweet.
Started Totality in like 2020 and then ended up transitioning online around like COVID time. So it's been around like 3 years, but I feel like everyone always says like the first 5 years in business is always the make or break it, but you just learn so much. And I feel like ever since I started Totality, there's just been so much transition. So I feel like I'm constantly learning and growing and figuring it out.
So you said you've been doing it for 3 years?
3 years full-time online. Yeah. Yep.
Because I remember when we first met, probably 3-4 years ago?
Yeah.
I want to say at the gym, you were in-person training, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I had some nutrition clients online. Yeah. And then that's when I think October of 2022 is when I transitioned fully online. I just hit a point where you're capped being in person. Like you can only work so many hours every day. And so that, and then also locality of people. So you can only really help people in the area. So I didn't want to have caps on my growth or opportunity. So transition.
Were your days pretty busy when you were in-person training?
Yes, because I was working full time for a company too. So I
Gotcha.
would work all day for that company. And then I would have my in-person clients, and then I would have my online clients. So
Wow.
there were some like 80, 90-hour weeks, maybe, like starting up my business and figuring that all out. But it was fun. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think a lot of people ask, like, where do I start if I'm trying to like start coaching or whatever? And I think I'm really happy I did it that way, because there wasn't ever that pressure of like, I need clients. Like now it was a very natural progression and transition into like full time, versus people just leaving their job and then having to like build up an entire roster of clientele. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you want to explain to all the listeners and the viewers like what exactly you do with your online coaching?
I'd love that. So I started working actually with athletes and everyone across the board. And I really just grew a passion for just like helping women. So my business is all for online coaching for women, usually high stress, really busy women. And because of what stress does on the body, I do a lot with gut and hormones as well. So I have some partnerships with a functional RN, a naturopathic doctor, and it's exactly what totality is. Like in total, I want to look at the total woman's body and make sure that she has access to any tool or resource that she would need with her health and wellness. So it's kind of like life coaching. Some people call me their like therapist or counselor, but really just look at the total woman and do all things from like nutrition to training to lifestyle coaching to really anything they need, help, support, resources, testing, to make sure that they are able to like become their best, healthiest self.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So if you had the opportunity to have like I know you said you could only cap out so much in person.
Yeah.
How do you compare like in-person training to online coaching?
Ooh, I think being in person, it's so special, because I like even this. We were talking a little bit before the podcast. I've done podcasts where it's virtual on a Zoom call. There's nothing like just sitting down with people and having that interaction. I do think that life isn't meant to be done alone. So it's really
100%.
special to just like do life with all those people that I was coaching, and you get to have just like different kind of conversation that way. And then being online, it was just like figuring out how to cultivate that same kind of community and intimacy with those relationships and dynamics. So it's harder to do that. Like you have to, your communication has to be done well, just because you're communicating behind a screen and things that way. But it's special because I get to build up a community that's so much larger than anything I could have done in person, you know?
Absolutely.
And we get to all do it together. So that's a big shift that happened going online, was not so much of like the one-on-one, but actually having like a super special community of 30 plus women all doing it together. So that's been really cool. Yeah. And I like that dynamic, because I think environment's everything. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's pretty rewarding with all, like, I'm assuming you get a lot of stories and transformations and everything?
Yeah, it's so fulfilling. I think like the times where like doubt will creep in, or is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Or if I have like a bad month where revenue isn't where it should be, or I think it should be, you know, it's like I pause and I think back on like conversations that I've had with clients or transformations and things. And it's like, I know this is what I'm meant to be doing. Yeah. And when you have those super special conversations with women of like, hey, you've literally changed my life, and like where I could have been and like where I'm headed now, it's like so rewarding, you know, like it literally brings like those conversations just brings like tears to your eyes, like sappy conversations.
I mean, that's cool. You're literally helping like help them transform their lives.
Yeah.
Which is
it's
awesome.
So special. Yeah. I'm very grateful. It's like, I always tell my clients, like, it's just such an honor to like do life with them, you know, and be the person that gets to speak life into them. I think a lot of people don't have people in their life, especially women. It's very like cheerleadery, like always supporting them, you know, and like cheering them on. But I think I look at it almost like a big sis, like tough love, you know, and I think a lot of people don't have that voice in their life of calling them out into like a higher standard versus just supporting them with like the actions that they're currently taking. So
nice.
Yeah.
Do you think, looking back 3 years ago, do you think you are where you thought you would be
No.
Or are you like in a completely different spot?
It's been so much change and transition. Yeah. Like that's where like they say like the first 5 years of business is like so much happening. Like from 2020 to 2022, I was in person and working for that company. And then 22 to now it was online, but it was like going from online part-time to like online full-time and then scaling and bringing on team members. So like every year over the past like 3 years, I would say has just been so different. I feel like randomly I'll see those like quotes on Instagram or whatever that just say like a year ago self, like version of you would have loved to be you now, you know? And it's just like the good reminder of like, these are the good days, you know, like these are the days that like you prayed for and like are so excited or we're so excited to like live and experience. So just slow down and enjoy it. Like look up every once in a while and like enjoy like what you've been able to build. So
it's
no,
cool.
I wouldn't have expected. No, you're good.
I was just gonna say it's cool to see like that you're super passionate about it. I was just kind of curious of like where that passion came from and like your fitness journey and the early stages. Like what got you into caring about your health, one, and then like two, like actually doing something physical about it?
Man, that goes back a long way. So I did like sports in like grade school and high school. I did volleyball and basketball.
Nice.
Basketball I was not very good at.
Same.
Did you grow up in Wisconsin?
I did. Okay. Yes. So I went to a Christian school out in like Watertown. And then
what was it called?
You don't want to know.
Maranatha. Maranatha? I totally know. Yeah, Maranatha.
Yes.
What's it called? Crap.
Yeah, it's that one school.
Did you know a school called Calvary Baptist?
Yeah, that's where we went for grade school.
Yep. Wait, no, really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Did we go to grade school together?
World. Yeah, what the heck? How old are you?
I'm 29.
What the heck? I'm 27.
Okay, so you're...
What the...
What's your last name?
The guy.
So we were probably there at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, what?
I went...
Hold on a second. This is
crazy.
This just got weird.
Oh, wait, hang on. So are you talking about the Mino Falls one, though, versus...
Yeah.
Okay, I went to the one out in Watertown.
Oh, okay.
Calvary Baptist Christian School.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say like
school?
I do know of that one though. We played them in sports and everything.
Yeah. So that's how I knew Maranatha. But anytime I meet anyone that's from like that realm of the world, it's like okay, like I need to hear your story because it's like it's always so unique and it's a wild story for a lot of different people because like you get all walks of life. But anyways.
Yes.
That was a little side quest.
No, to kind of go off of that, I feel like...
Sorry, I got really excited.
I thought we were really, like, had gone to school together.
You guys, like, sat next to each other in class.
Right.
Yeah.
Completely ignored each other.
The classes were so small, like 12 people. I was like, there's no way that I didn't owe you, you know?
Right.
Going off of that, I feel like in that environment, I really developed a lot of, like, people pleasing. So that was a lot of, like, healing that I feel like I had to do in my own, like, walk of life just because of the rules and the like fundamentals of that like dynamic. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. I don't really have much else to say about it. But, I don't know. It's just like such a unique experience where it really is like you meet someone from that circle and it's like you don't know what they're experiencing, you know? I feel like there's so many different walks of life that come from that circle. But so I did sports. Volleyball, I played up through college. I did club. So I enjoyed that a lot more. But with basketball, it stopped that at like, I don't even know, high school. It just was not great. But if I went to a public school, I wouldn't have been on the team. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So started like caring about like activity at a pretty young age. I would say I was pretty athletic throughout my like younger years. And then in college, I actually pursued bodybuilding. So that crisp snap.
I didn't want to interrupt. I would have gotten the
that
mic.
should have been right in the mic. Yeah.
I'm glad you appreciate it because that's like Luke's favorite thing right there.
We'll get it in the episodes. We'll get it nice and close to the mic.
Good.
You said bodybuilding. When was this?
So I did bodybuilding. So I went to school for 2 years in South Carolina. I thought I wanted to be a pharmacist. Was big into like science and math and my brother was a pharmacist. So I was like, you have no idea what you want to do at 18 years old with your life. So I was like, I'll just go do pharmacy school.
We still don't know what we want to do.
I know. We're still figuring it out. So I actually moved back to Wisconsin after deciding like, okay, this isn't what I want to do. And did bodybuilding for 2 years, did 2 shows. And that's where I feel like the awareness and like, okay, I actually enjoy learning about like bodies and how bodies adapt from like exercise and nutrition kind of like started.
Did you do like shredded cheddar?
I did do shredded cheddar.
Okay. What was the second one you did?
I did their June one, the Brew City. And then I also did their, is that the October one, the shredded cheddar? The big one.
I just know it's called shredded cheddar.
Badger State.
Badger State.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like the big one. I did that one first. You learn so much from like a first bodybuilding show. You don't know what to expect. And then you're learning posing and you're on a stage in a teeny tiny bikini and you're like so like nervous.
Yeah, we wouldn't do too good in teeny tiny bikinis.
I'm sure you guys would do better than I did.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, there's so much that you're learning during that like season, you know? So prep and mentally and your relationship with food and all those things.
Yeah.
So that's really where I learned a lot, and I'm so grateful because I think a lot of what I went through with bodybuilding, I use a lot with like how I relate with my clients now. I've never been someone that was like crazy overweight or like had 50 pounds to lose or needed any crazy transformation just because I grew up like being athletic. But it ruined my relationship with food. And so there was a lot of like tendencies with that I now use as like a part of how I relate with clients that if I didn't do bodybuilding, I wouldn't understand. So it was a really pivotal portion of my story. And just like, it was so cool to do, you know, like not enough people, it's like dieting on steroids. It requires such a like when I'm inspired by people that do it and do it well, because it's a full-on commitment. It's a very expensive hobby. You have to be all in and dedicated to it. And it calls out the absolute best in you or like the highest level of you in the specific like nutrition and training and all that. So you learn a lot, but it just wasn't like for me. So did bodybuilding, and then that kind of, sorry to go back to your question. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I rode a rabbit trail. I basically, that was like the starting point of, wow, I'm actually like really interested in this. So I went to school for kines and nutrition, started getting certified in like programming and health coaching and nutrition and other aspects of like things that you can get certified in. And I was like, I actually want to do this. So started working with like athletes. I worked for a company out in like Franklin area where we trained athletes from like kindergarten to like pro overseas basketball players, where it was like so diverse. And that was like a cool experience. But that was where I realized like, I don't enjoy coaching athletes. Like I want to be hands-on with women that are like in their 30s, 40s, like settled in life or like have figured out who they are and like really want to level up their lives, you know. What
was the reason why you didn't really like training with athletes, you think?
Just specific, the type of training. Like I could program for them to develop their craft, but I didn't enjoy it, if that makes sense. The most enjoying part of, or the most enjoyable. There we go. Enjoyment.
The amount of times I stumble over my words and mess stuff up is hours worth. So
okay, I'm like, what word am I looking for?
We found it. We found it.
Yeah. The most enjoyable part was actually like mentoring the girls in like high school. Okay. Like there's some girls that I like still stay in contact with where I'm like, you change their lives through like conversations where it wasn't even like the coaching necessarily. It was the conversations on the side. And that's where I realized like, okay, this is where my passion is. Like how cool would that be to actually do that full time, you know? So
do you feel like it's more not just helping them with their fitness, but also like life outside of it as well?
Yeah. I think that impacts health and fitness so much, you know, so many people, whether it's a mom, whether it's a girl in a relationship or whatever, every aspect of your life really impacts your health and wellness. Is your partner supportive? Is your I don't know, your environment supportive to like the actions that you want to take? If we don't look at your environment outside of just the gym and the kitchen, then we don't have a full picture of like what we need to adjust, you know?
Yeah.
I do think, like, I'll say this probably like 8 times today, but I do think like environment is just everything. So like if the people that you surround yourself with or like your home environment aren't supportive of your goals, then we're missing out on probably like 70% of the pieces of the puzzle, you know, especially for women. I think we're more emotional when it comes to why we do what we do. Not necessarily like all over the place, but there's like a deeper reasoning behind stuff, you know? So I think you have to look at lifestyle factors too. Yeah.
So would you say from sports, that's what got you into lifting and fitness?
Yeah, I started lifting with like my brother in high school.
Okay.
I still have like my selfie from when I first like my first workout like in a big boy gym.
Is it older or younger brother?
Older brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't know, it was just something that like made me feel really cool and like empowered. Was just like lifting weights and
You got
like
your first pump and you were just
hyped
sold. On it.
Yeah. Done. Probably. But yeah, I think, I don't know, there was just something really cool to be said about like going in and just doing your thing, you know? And I think doing that at such a young age also helped me just like eliminate like that fear and that intimidation from the gym. Because a lot of women will wait until they're like 30, 40 to like get into the gym. And then it's like, I am so intimidated of that space. And it's, if you started younger, you just wouldn't really have that, you know? So I think that that's where I'm like, I hope to be a voice to like younger girls too. Like, hey, take care of your body now. Cause I think that that's important now to kind of set you up for success in the future.
Learn that now instead of waiting until later on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really quick, if you want to mention any of your social media or anywhere people can find you if they're interested.
Okay.
I will throw up in the YouTube description. I can put up on the screen, but anywhere, if you want to mention anywhere they can find you.
Okay. Yeah. So Instagram is my main platform. My handle's the Clarice Barnett. Recently changed that. A lot of people knew me as Brunette Barnett.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah. I had that for years. My like gym friends would call me Double B. And so I thought that was pretty sick. No, I'm kidding. No, changed it. I'm like, I need to be more official now that I actually run a business, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
And then my website's totalitylifestyle.com. Mainly on those platforms. If you guys like need to get a hold of me, want to send me a message, like pretty active on Instagram for sure.
Great. Awesome. I'll add that in.
Thank you.
So we covered how you got into fitness. We covered your business. One more. Yeah, here we go.
There it is.
Nice.
What are you sipping on there?
Saratoga.
Oh, wow. If they sponsored us. Wow.
Sponsor us.
Wow. So you started about 3 years ago. Where would you like to see your business go to? Or are you at a spot where you're like really happy and content with it? Or would you like to kind of see it transform in a different direction?
My goal with Totality is to create an all-inclusive coaching service for women, no matter what life their like season of life they're in, or anything that they're kind of going through. So with the partnerships that I'm creating, I really want it to focus on like mental health, gut health, hormonal health, and them have access to any tool or resource that they would need along the way. And then in all season of life. So we're talking anyone from like 18 to 90. Like I want it to be all inclusive to women. Right now I'm really focused in on like the gut and hormonal health, because I think that's very prevalent. Like every woman I talk to has like gut issues or hormone things going on. So I love that interaction with like that age, that demographic, and just coming in and showing them like, hey, you don't have to like fight with your body anymore. Like we can figure out a way to like solve what you're going through. But I'd like to see more partnerships along the way in like pre-postpartum for pregnancy. I'd like to grow a little bit more of a team. So I have a couple hires right now, more for like,
I saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a crazy, like, I'm just learning so much. You know, I think health and building a business correlates so much with every aspect. Like you talk about a topic with health and it relates so much to business and vice versa. And building a team it just like calls you into a different standard of leadership, you know, like how do I want to lead my team in a sense of them leaving feeling like, hey, I did a good job instead of like controlled or micromanaged, you know, and learning how to like loosen your grip on like your baby, you know, is really hard. So no, but I want to kind of like build up a team. I don't know if maybe I'll bring on like a coach or an assistant coach or someone in like postpartum, something that way. Really just want to continue to cultivate the partnerships though, as well as community. I think with where the world's headed with just like AI and everything, where it's so not real, you know, like even social media, like it's always just been kind of like a highlight reel. It's not like reality for most people. I think having a community where people can just really come as they are and create like intentional relationships among the people that are a part of Totality is something that will set me apart and already has. That these girls that come or women that join Totality, they're just a part of something bigger than just like a coaching program. So that's really what my vision is for Totality, is to like make sure that people feel like they're a part of that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see where it'll go in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is your typical client? Like, what does she look like?
So she's about 30, 35, and she's a very high stress, busy woman. I work with anyone from like doctors to lawyers to nurses. Probably like nurse would be like the most typical, just because they're in like that high stress, demanding environment, and stress just wreaks havoc on the body. So a lot of times there's a little bit of like hormone imbalances, gut disruption because of that. And so these women have like weight that they want to lose because they don't feel like confident in their skin. So I come in, and typically right now as they sign on with me, they're getting a hair tissue mineral analysis done like on the spot, like immediately, so that we can get a picture of what's going on at like a cellular level. And that's with my partnership with this functional RN. So she'll run the test, go over the testing with them, and just make sure like we see exactly what's going on and why they're experiencing like weight loss resistance. And then we use that test to kind of direct where we need to go with nutrition, training, and all of that. So I really like to make sure like everything's aligned with what they need. And I think it's important to like get a bigger picture with some sort of testing in that sense. But usually like 30, 35, high stress, busy. I would say typically like single, sometimes married with kids, but ideally like single, living her life, figuring out life as like in her 30s too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that like hormonal imbalances and like their mineral levels and stuff, do you think that's more important for women for weight loss, or do you think it's like equal between men and women?
That's a good question. I think with stress, when it comes to stress specifically, I think more women. I think men, I don't think it impacts hormonally quite as much, but I do know that it does impact you guys. I think going back to like women being emotional, like the stress impact on just like all of our hormones, I think is just a little bit bigger on women. Whereas men could probably still lose weight fine and it not be like, okay, stress is actually keeping me from doing that, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know. I also think girls are way more aware of like the gut area, whereas like men are like whatever.
My tummy hurts. That was me today.
I think we just ignore it. Like, we're not really like paying attention.
Whereas like women are like, oh, I'm wearing a crop top in summer. Like I don't want to be like bloated. I was even walking down the street the other day and like just analyzing like men clothing versus women. And like women are just more exposed in a lot of ways, you know? And so I think it's just more on our mind, like, oh, I'm bloated after I'm eating or whatever, just because like we're wearing tight little clothing or like, I don't know, swimsuits, you know, whereas dudes could wear like a t-shirt and shorts and you wouldn't know if they were bloated or not, you know?
What do you find is causing gut issues with a lot of women?
I think, honestly, it goes to like loneliness. I think it goes to like the social media aspect of things. And I think just like the pressure that a lot of women feel when it comes to where everyone else is in their like walk of life. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
That, and I think the quality of our food.
Yeah.
I think that's like probably the biggest.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that, like loneliness but yeah, it definitely could
Yeah.
affect you. I was thinking kind of like nutrition, antibiotics and stuff like that.
There's so much, right? Like I think loneliness and social media, like that together, where you feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Like I think it puts like an unwanted pressure or unneeded stress. And then practicality of like nutrient deficiencies or like just the quality of our food. Like you even, I don't know, people always compare to like Europe or wherever where like the food's just better. It's just because they don't spray as much with like the fertilizers and all the junk that is wreaking havoc on our guts. So I think nutrients as a whole, for sure, like massive impact when it comes to just our health as like our temple, like not being what it should be, for sure.
I do notice a lot, though. I mean, a lot less males that have gut issues compared to females.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting just to kind of observe of like, I mean, we'll go to McDonald's and have Big Macs after our podcast and stuff. Like, it's not a big deal. It's like, we're just living life. And I just find it interesting to find that how there's a lot more what I've noticed with females.
I think also your gut can get thrown off by your hormones being off and vice versa. I do think they are correlated together. So if you look at like hormones and like high stress or things that way where your hormones are not within range, or like going through like a pregnancy too, where your hormones are going through different seasons of life, I think that can also impact your gut. So I think that could add to like the prevalency of what we're seeing with women. But I mean, I literally like will sit and I'll talk to people on Instagram, right? Like I get a lot of new clients through Instagram specifically. And I feel like almost every other woman that I talk to is like, I have PCOS or I have some sort of health condition, really related to gut or hormones or have something going on. So it's on a rise. I do think it's like fiber intake, protein intake, the high like sugar intake that a lot of people consume too. I mean, I think this is going on a rabbit trail, but I saw a post today from like the CDC put out that like 1 in 3 teenagers are now pre-diabetic. So it's like the world's just unhealthy, So it's starting younger and younger at an age, whereas like when we were little, we were like outside playing, actually getting active. And now it's like everything's on a phone, or video games where kids are like, when I see kids outside playing, I'm like,
babies.
Literally.
Yeah.
When I see kids outside playing, like I sometimes am like surprised. Whereas like when I was younger, I don't feel like.
I still do that?
Yeah, literally. Or like it's more rare, maybe that's just me, but I feel like a lot of kids are like playing on tablets or something that way, or preoccupied that way versus getting active. So I think it's important to just like spread awareness of the importance of like nutrition and training and all of that at like an early age, but setting it as a good example and not like pressing it on like young women or men to like be a certain thing. It's just education from a place of education of like, hey, I just want you to be healthy,
I think with mental health too, there's a lot of like emerging research about how the gut microbiome can affect your mood and brain and depression and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then that combined with like lack of exercise.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that could be having like depressive symptoms and stuff like that, it could be caused by these other lifestyle problems that they're having.
Yeah, your gut's your second brain. So if your gut's off, it's like there's a reason why there's like anxiety and depression and all that, like people joke about it, but like the gym's your therapy. It kind of is in a way. Like, yes, if you need mental help and you need a therapist or counselor or like spiritual guidance, get the help. But there's something to be said about like even sunshine, like that's made a massive impact on my mental health, is waking up and getting outside within the first 10 minutes. Yeah. It's just so grounding and like away from a screen and anything else. Whereas I like had a season of life where I was like crazy adrenal fatigue and like just getting up, grabbing coffee, sitting down at my computer. And I've never felt so like more in like that negative like headspace,
Yeah.
you know.
That's
So
what I do.
yeah, it's not
So-
good.
So when like when winter rolls
I
around,
need help.
do you supplement like vitamin D then?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most people I would say are like vitamin D
Okay.
deficient.
Other
Yeah.
than like maybe like a little bit more spiritual aspect, like what other than that, like during the winter, like that keeps you going, you know, like because it's, you know, Wisconsin's rough, like the winters they can get pretty depressing, and
Oh my God.
especially when you're just cooped up in home all day.
They're
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah, they are.
That's a really good question. I do find the snow to be pretty like peaceful
Mhm.
because it mutes sound a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's just so quiet to
Because
like
you don't have to really drive
no.
anymore, so you can enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
nice.
drive all that much. Just working from home, you mean?
Yeah. So you have to stay home. You don't have to like, worry
Literally.
about driving that.
Yes. If it's like a gym day, then I'll just be like, I'll just drive out tomorrow and shovel my car out tomorrow. We haven't been getting that much snow
I
though,
know.
which
True.
is
I know.
weird,
It's nice.
but it is nice. Yeah. So yeah, getting outside, even though it's cold and like not sunny, like just being away from a screen is really helpful.
Mhm.
I like to travel and I like to like spend time with family
Mm.
as well. And then, yeah, I do think like faith is the foundational portion of like everything, right?
Yeah.
A lot of like anything that you allow like in your eyes or in your ears, like worship playing in the morning versus like crazy, whatever, even
Yep.
country songs, you know, like
Mhm.
it's just good to be constantly just like filling your mind with like truth and
Right.
like
Yeah.
good versus
Yeah.
other things. So that I think, and just like having a family that's very supportive, and like my parents I'm so close with, so I do a lot of life with them too.
That's awesome.
Winter's just hard because like a lot of
Totally.
people in Wisconsin, it's like they just go out and drink. That's like the
Yep,
thing. So
right. Yeah.
and I don't enjoy drinking. I don't enjoy going out. Like anyone that knows me, probably people at my gym, like I barely get invited to stuff because they just know I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
No, that's for other reasons.
Yeah. Oh, like I had a friend text me the other day. She was like, I know you probably won't come, but I just want you to know you're invited.
Nice.
And I was like,
That's
I
awesome.
appreciate
Nice.
that. Yeah. So yeah, I think just like finding joy in like little things, whether that's like
Yeah.
going to a winter's farmer's market or something that just like enhances life a little bit more, that
Mhm.
doesn't include like drinking all the time, or I don't know, the typical.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was recently, because you mentioned music, I was recently convicted about
Mm.
like the type of music I was listening to,
Hmm.
and like it was super negative, and for a while it didn't bother me, but as of recent, you know, it started to bother me, and I like that you brought that up because it really is important of like what we're feeding our minds.
It can have a big impact, and I like how you mentioned that, just being aware of the things that you're intaking with your eyes and ears. And I like how you're just like getting away from a screen at the beginning of the morning. I saw you made a post about that the other day. I gotta start doing that because I've recently been starting to work. I work from home now.
Is it like a daily check-in for your Instagram? Like, oh, get away
I
from the
used
screen.
to. It used to be called morning steppies.
Nice.
You were called morning steppies?
I would call it
Morning
like morning
steppies.
Oh, I
steppies.
thought people would call you morning steppies.
No,
so-
I did start creating like a little community
That's fun,
called
yeah.
Stepsisters. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
But I don't know. I don't really post it every morning. I do for like my clients. I'll
Okay.
like snap a photo of like a tree or my feet or whatever,
Sure.
and post it for like motivation to just like get up and get moving.
Mhm.
And I feel like those resonate with a lot of people because like the mornings are tough, where it's like you want to just like wait until the last second to like roll out of
Yeah.
bed, and then you're getting thrown into work. But the
Right.
longer that I've been working from home, I've realized I'm like, I just can't do that
Yeah.
anymore. You know,
Dangerous game.
it is. Yeah. I love working and I love scaling and building and learning and growing and all that. But if I get up and I just sit at my computer and then I'm there all day, like on calls, it's just not fun for me, because then I'm not like being intentional with me
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
I heard a post or listened to a video about someone that was like talking about burnout and how he was like, he's like, burnout really isn't a thing. It's just like a lack of reward from like the actions that you're taking, or it's a delayed reward for the action that you're taking. So I think just being really intentional with like how I'm structuring my day is a way that I can just avoid burnout, and like starting my morning where I'm not like being contacted by anyone and I'm
Sure.
not like communicating with anyone.
Are you a big journaler? Like, do you journal in the morning, or do you just like?
I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my walks are that time to just like kind of press into like creative thoughts in that sense. I think journaling for me is more so like a nighttime routine activity sometimes. I would like to be a journaler. Sometimes it's like nice to just get all my thoughts out on paper.
It's an easy way to do it. Just messy, right? And just get it all out.
Some of mine have been so weird, dude. They've been one feeling and then it's the complete opposite feeling. And it's like, those are two different sentences. Like, how did that just flip flop like that?
Yeah. No, but I'm like challenged now to like start journaling again because you asked that. It's just a nice way to like reflect on the day, you know?
Totally.
I used to be a big like gratitude writer downer, you know?
Ooh,
like
nice.
I'd start my day with like coffee and gratitude because I think it's easy to like the days pass so quickly that if we don't spend time like reflecting on like what took place or like the positive and the good, then it's really easy to get sucked into like, oh, but this didn't go how I wanted it to, or this month isn't going as how I wanted it to, you know, or that conversation with that client like consumed my day or in a negative way or something, you know. So I think it's just like a good way to really just focus on like the good happening, you know, and like the blessings in your life too. Really challenged on like journaling and gratitude.
To go back to your business, what do you think has been the most difficult part of your business or the biggest challenge? And then on the flip side, what has been the most beneficial, rewarding part of you doing your business?
Most challenging part is probably with school. I learned coaching, right? Like I learned how to coach people. I got certifications on how to program or how to do stuff with nutrition or understand people's bodies. But with business, I was never taught that. I did a lot of like self-learning. So I think that was the biggest challenge is I allowed a lot of time, like 2022 to last year, mid last year, I would say, I did a lot of like self figuring out. And I think it could have been like a waste of time, but I think that's why it was such a big challenge because I had never learned that. And I was just like researching to try and figure out like, what's the best way to do high ticket sales, or like how should a sales call go, or what metrics or KPIs should I be tracking every day?
Sure. Whatever that means.
Right. And then like all of that, all those hats all day, every day, I think it was just like a lot to figure out the flow. And then the most rewarding or most beneficial was probably not doing it on my own anymore. I think that's been the biggest and most pivotal portion of business is like, hey, I'm going to invest in myself and my business to get people that have already done it to speak into my life. So I have a one-on-one coach, a business coach, a sales coach, and then I have like a guy that helps me with content and ads and stuff.
Sweet.
And that's really been huge because if they just come in and like show me how to do it or like help me brainstorm on what's working or what's not working versus spending so much of my time just figuring it out. So I think just investing into other people to pour into me and having those mentors has been the most rewarding because I'm able to just have really high level conversations with people that have done it rather than wasting my time and energy on figuring it out myself.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then before we transition, what is a piece of advice you'd give someone that maybe wants to start a business or is like on the edge and isn't quite there to kind of give them like that push?
Man, I'll say this again, but your environment is everything. And what you invest into or who you invest into is everything. So the quicker that you can place yourself in rooms where people are doing what you want to do, but are also living the lifestyle that you want to live, the better. And then the people that you invest into to speak into your life and mentor you in the areas that you need to grow, don't be afraid to do that. Like I think a lot of my time in business was kind of just being stubborn of like, I'll just figure it out or I'll make it work or whatever. Whereas when I stopped doing that and invested, literally full transparency, from like November to maybe March of this year. I think I invested like over 30 grand into mentorships because I was like, I'm just not doing it on my own.
Wow.
And that's been like so
Worth it, though?
pivotal. Yeah. So the quicker and more frequent that you can be in environments of people that are doing what you want to do, but also live the lifestyle that you want, both of those. And then the quicker that you can invest into people that are doing that to just pour into you and speak life into you so that you're not doing it on your own. I would say that would be like monumental for wherever you want to be. I think the cliche of like, yes, just do it, but do it well. So like just surround yourself with people that are, so you kind of have that knowledge of where to start and what that should look like.
Yeah. So it's not just the pressure on yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
Sweet. Well, I know before you said you like to travel, and you recently went to Hawaii and you did some crazy stuff.
Crazy.
So we'd love to hear about that if you want to tell about that trip and that crazy stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So Hawaii was such like a random idea. Yeah. It was like Easter week, and I was like, I've never been to Hawaii. I really want to go.
It looks so beautiful.
Yes, it was beautiful. I went to Kauai, and then I flew over to Oahu for a couple days. It was just like a spur of the moment, literally booked the week of. I was like, I'm just going to go and get away. And it was like at such a good time where like mentally I just like needed the little reset, and flew over to Oahu. I had a client at the time that was like, she was frequently went there for like work. And she was like, hey, these are like all the activities or things that you could do. And
all the things you can do, yeah.
One of them was like swimming with sharks. So
just a casual swim with sharks. Right? It's gonna get in the ocean with these things that can destroy you, shred you up.
Yeah, and the like ocean to me is terrifying.
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
Very scary.
Yeah,
super scary.
So I was like, if I'm gonna do something like this, I don't want to do this like, I don't know, off of like the state's coast, you know, like in Cali or whatever. Yeah. Like I want to do it in Oahu. So, literally called my parents or family or texted them, and I was like, hey, just so you know, I
don't make it back. Is that what you said?
I was like, just so you guys know what I'm doing.
So you were in a cage?
If you get a call.
No, there was no cage.
No cage?
No cage.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so I saw this movie like 47 meters down or whatever, where they went in a cage and the cage locked and then fell into the ocean.
Awesome.
Like the cord broke or whatever, or like just dropped. Yes, they were stuck like 50 meters into the ocean. And I was like, I don't want that to happen.
I'm just going to be in the free water with the sharks.
Everyone was like, you're crazy for thinking that that's better. But I was like, the part of me too, like you get on a boat and they drive into the ocean like for 30 minutes.
Oh, great.
So you're not just in the ocean. Yeah. Like I've never seen waves this big. Like I for sure felt like I was like in a movie, you know, because you're just like literally going over these massive waves.
You may not have been in a movie, but you could have been on the news.
I could. That's true. My cousin's super into like adventures like this. Like he's wrestled crocodiles, alligators, stuff like that. So I was like, hey, Josh, is this legit? It's the waiver like helpful even? So yeah, they take you out for like 30 minutes. And nothing really like hit me. Like I was really excited. I was like, this is going to be like such a dope story to like tell people that I like swim with sharks. Like I'm just pumped, you know? And then there's like this 7-year-old on the boat. So I'm like, I have to get in. You know, like I can't mess around.
At least you could like shove him in front of you in case one of them comes at you.
Little snack before me.
Who's bringing their 7-year-old on a swimming into a shark strip? Like, what?
It was his idea, I think.
Oh my God.
I know. I was like, to literally do this on your like summer break and then go back. I was like, you're literally going to be the coolest kid in school.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Right.
So did they
who are those
bait
parents?
The sharks, or was it just a shark spot? Like
so knew? No like chumming of the water with like blood or anything.
Probably not a great idea with people.
No, you're not. I don't think
you're just
that's
holding
legal.
some meat water.
Oh really? It's not legal?
I don't think it's legal. On the way out though, I did see like what are they called? Like a humpback whale. So that was
cool.
actually really cool.
Wow. Were you in the water or were you on the boat?
I was on the boat at that time, taking
cool.
our 30-minute trek.
Okay.
And it was cool though, because I saw him like dive up and then go back in the water.
So cool.
So that was the first time seeing like a whale of that size.
Wow.
So
yeah.
How close to the sharks did you get?
Yeah, so they I'll lead you there. So we pull up to the spot and they're like, okay, they're like telling you how to like do this. And he kept asking if people knew how to float. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, do people legit come on this and don't know how to swim? Like legit, he's like, people will literally book this and then they won't know how to swim. But I've never snorkeled.
Well, there you go. If you don't get eaten by a shark, you just drown.
Right.
Yeah. Literally.
That's great.
Yeah, I wish someone didn't know. That would have helped everyone else out in case anything happened. But yeah, we get to the spot. They shut off the engines. They like churn them a little bit. So that's how they attract them, because sharks will come to like the noise.
Okay.
So the guides got out. There's 2 guides. They got in the water and they're like, we're just going to monitor their behaviors first, so that we can see like if there's any signs of aggression or anything that way. Wow. And there's like legit, we literally stopped the boat. I have a video of it and there's like fins just like in the water. And everyone's like, yeah, I'm just
if you want to send it to me, I can add it in the
you got it.
Episode. Yeah.
Literally insane. You're like, I'm just gonna hop in now. Well,
how did you feel at that point when you saw the fins?
Insane. I didn't know if I would make it. That's when I was like,
how many prayers were said?
all of them.
All of the prayers.
I was like not sure if I was gonna get in. Like at that point, I was already like freaking out.
My heart's racing right now. I can just make sure.
Did anyone have like a weapon, like a knife or a harpoon gun or something?
No.
This is the.
Were they?
Who are these people?
What kind of sharks were they? Like hammerheads? Were they great whites?
They were Galapagos.
Okay.
Yes, they were Galapagos. But the guy was like, he had seen like 8 tiger sharks over the past couple of weeks.
Not aggressive at all.
The most. Wow. So he's literally, well, my cousin was like, I hope you see a tiger shark, but also hope you don't. But yeah, literally I didn't know if I was going to like be able to get in, but I was like, I can't come all this way and then not go in. The hardest part.
Did you pee yourself before or after you got in the water?
True.
All of it. It was all out there.
I would have immediately just.
It was like the hyperventilation that happened. Yeah. So I'd never snorkeled before, and they tell you.
You haven't snorkeled either before,
no.
and you just went in with sharks?
Yes. Yeah.
You're so bold. That's
it was
crazy.
rough, man. So it was like 10 minutes of me. So they tell you when you get in the water, you don't want to like jump in because the sharks will come to like check you out, right? Because they're attracted to noise. So you just like pencil dive.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You just like pencil drop in, right?
Sure.
So you don't want to like you don't want to like go crazy in the water. So, and you also don't want to like kick aggressively or anything that way. So they tell you all this. They tell you they're like, if you're ever next to them, like swim next or above them, because they like are along with the hierarchy. So like if you swim under, then you're viewed as prey, not a predator.
You
so
see
they're like
giant sharks swimming over.
I know. I'm like, shoot. No, so they're like educating you, right? And you're like, in the moment, you're gonna forget all that. You know, like if there's a shark next to me, I'm not gonna think, oh, let me just swim above. So
did you go? Because I saw pictures, but did you go like? Did you dive into the water or were you above the water the whole time?
Yeah. So for the first 10 minutes when I was in there, I was just hyperventilating. So you get 30 minutes with just swimming in the water. You can get out. You have to control your
breathing. Even for snorkeling, like you have to, you could probably agree with this. It's like you'll stick your head in there, but if you're breathing too fast, you're going to freak out and you got to just like literally just take a deep breath and just control your breathing.
That's what they kept telling me, but I like couldn't. Like it was a good.
Because you're with sharks in an ocean.
Yes.
30 minutes for the first time from shore.
Yes. And I'm like a nose breather. So I'm like, this is so odd to like only breathe through my mouth. Sure. So I literally the first 10 minutes, I like couldn't look underwater. I'm like, I refused to like see them. I was so nervous.
And I'm assuming it's like the water where you can only see like your body, but you can't see super far down, right?
You could when you stick your goggles in.
Yeah.
But
was it
not
pretty?
like,
I'm assuming it's really deep water. Like
yeah.
Not by, yeah.
Oh yeah. Like you don't see any land or
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. So 10 minutes goes by and I'm just like, I gotta look. Like I have to at least like absorb the experience somehow.
Yeah.
And like at that point, like your mind's just going nuts, you know, like the what if scenarios or whatever. And like it was crazy, like the switch that happened. The moment like my goggles like looked in the water, it was just like blue.
Yep.
And it was just peaceful. You know, it was like, I don't know how to explain it, but I went from like the most scared I've ever been to like the most peaceful, even though these are like predators that you like shouldn't be swimming with. It was just like overcoming that fear of like being in like such a vast space and just seeing so much blue. To like the left of me, I looked over and there's like this square cage of like a little jellyfish that like just like a unique like jellyfish. And then I'll send you pictures so you can see like the sharks, but the sharks had like little fish that were like striped swimming in front of them. So it was just like so much to look at and like such a crazy experience to just like be in the open water. I didn't dive down until closer to the end. I would say the shark, probably the closest it got to me was like from me to you, maybe at one point, like the tip of my fin, but they weren't like
pretty close.
That.
Kind of.
But they weren't. I would say like the divers and the photographer, like they were a lot closer to them, because they would like swim way down to like where they would hang out, and then come back. But yeah. It was just an unreal experience.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. I think so I've gone snorkeling probably 4 or 5 times. Okay. And I'm terrified of the ocean, but I love snorkeling.
Okay.
So I'll do it anytime and I'll continue to do it. I think my biggest fear would be seeing the blue ocean and then seeing from a distance a shark. That would probably, I'd rather have it like you put your head down and you see the sharks. But if I saw a shark swimming from like the darkness into the blue, I think that would be more scary.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that.
I feel like there wasn't any dark. Like it was all like this blue.
Oh.
Like it was just so blue. Like, I don't know, like maybe it would get like foggy, but it wasn't like black.
Yeah. Okay.
So like there wasn't like, oh, you hit a point where you can't like see them, you know? It's just a matter of how close they are.
How far from the boat did you go?
They initially, when I was hyperventilating, so they lay out like a rope that you could hang on
I saw
to.
in the picture.
Yeah. So I was hanging on that for like the good first 10 minutes. And like I wish it like floated because I was like, I was so terrified.
And you didn't have a life vest on either.
No, but they give you long flippers. And then also the ocean, like it's so salty. So you kind of float a good bit, a lot more than I thought. So that's what they meant by floating. Sure. I thought it was a different, like, I was like, what am I signing up for? But, yeah, I don't know what I was saying, but, how far from the boat? Yeah. So literally the first like 10 minutes, I was like as close as I could possibly be, but they'll churn the engine. So you have to get away. So they were like, you got to go a little farther. And I'm like, no. But eventually I like got off the line. Like when I was like, I dove down a little bit and like took the snorkel out and like took some cool pics. Awesome. But it was just like, I don't know, there's like that fear component, but also like you're in the moment where you want to like just do it. May as well. If something happens, it's going to be happening, whether you're 5 feet away or 10 feet away.
Yeah, you know,
like,
why not? Just go for it. Wow. Would you do it again?
I would.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would actually like recommend to anyone, not that like sharks are my biggest fear, not that you need to swim with sharks, but like do something that just scares you or challenges you. I think you learn a lot about yourself and like that self-talk and narrative that goes on, like leading up to the point of getting in the water with shark fins on the like surface, that it's like you're not going to get that experience with anything else unless you're facing some sort of a fear. You don't need to face it with like sharks, but one of my favorite quotes is, fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. And like that experience just literally was an example of what that looked like. You know, like the moment my goggles hit the water, everything was quiet, you know? And I think that's a lot of times with fear and a lot of things is just like, we're so nervous to take that one step. And then we take that step and it's like a puddle, you know? And it's like, okay, it's not really that bad.
Guys,
not that sharks are that way.
we're swimming with sharks.
Oh boy.
Can we start with like dolphins or something?
Let's start there.
I feel like those are
that.
sometimes more aggressive.
My sister, my older sister, she travels everywhere, and she in Africa, she went in a shark cage. And when I saw that, because my biggest fear is probably like the ocean.
Okay.
Even though I've, like I said, I've gone snorkeling.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, you know what? I think I want to do a shark cage. I don't know if I'd want to do open water with sharks.
Mm-hmm. The big deciding factor was that movie, but also like if you go, like let's say you go to Hawaii in like the winter months, like the waves are massive to the point of like you're kind of getting thrown around in the cage. And I was like, I just don't want to worry about like smacking my head or like worrying about like holding onto a bar. To me, I'm like, the shark could get in if he wanted to, you know?
I wouldn't let it get in. It's not getting in that cage.
So I was like, I don't know. I was like, if I'm swimming with sharks, I may as well go crazy. So
dang, I mean, props to you though. That's really cool, and I like that. Just like facing your fear, and it's cool that you got over being like hyperventilating, or I mean, like just being freaked out at first, and then be able to like enjoy it because it's really beautiful. Like to actually enjoy the sharks is a beautiful thing.
It is. I think I do enjoy like learning and like skills and things that way, where I just like to be mentally stimulated that way. So I think just like going on the boat, like learning about like sharks' behaviors, it helps you understand like, yes, sharks are predators. Like they're not meant to just be like hung out with, you know, like there's really skilled divers that like learn like sharks as if they're people, right? Like they name them and understand their characteristics. And I'm not to that point, but I think learning and understanding like the hierarchy of the ocean and like why shark attacks happen, you know, like why shark attacks happen to surfers, you know, it's like the craziness on the water and then the board looking like a seal. So it's like, it's understandable that people surf and get attacked by sharks because they're drawing the shark in with everything that's happening. And most shark attacks aren't like you're not eaten alive. It's like a nip because they're like coming in and trying to check you out,
with their sharp teeth.
Yes. Which is why, but you'll see like a bite and then that's it. You know, like they bite your arm off or they bite your leg off because they're just like coming in and figuring out what you are. So it's like, if you do understand behaviors, I'm talking about this so calm. But if you like learn the shark behaviors and stuff, I do think it's just like interesting, you know?
It is very interesting. I love watching shark videos.
Okay.
But I like watching it from the comfort of
your home.
Yeah. But it is inspiring. Like I want to do something crazy. Have you done anything else like that before? Or is like that the biggest adrenaline rush that you've had?
That's probably my biggest adrenaline rush for sure.
Like no wrestling bears or anything, you know?
No. Yep, no. I like snakes are probably one of my biggest fears. Like I'm
not a big fan of those.
Yeah. Like people will go and like hunt pythons in the
Everglades.
Yeah. That would not be on my list.
What a stupid idea.
I just don't like them. Like they're so creepy to me. So I just couldn't.
I like if I know it's not poisonous or it's really gonna bite me, I don't mind it.
Wow.
I think it's a natural human thing to be scared of snakes, though.
Not for him, I guess.
Well, I think some people people have it like genetically programmed into them more. The same thing with spiders. Like some people can't even look at a picture of a spider, and I think they look cool.
Yeah,
but like I have friends that can't even look at them.
It's interesting, which I don't know why they would do this with babies, but there was a video of like these 3 little toddlers, and there was snakes crawling around on the floor into the kids, and it shows that typically babies and kids don't have a fear of stuff like that. They were just like touching the snakes and picking them up, but then over time we develop fear for those things, which is interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
I do think it's like a learned emotion, but that's why I go back to like fear being a mile wide and an inch deep, because there's so many things in life, business, relationships, like you name it, like a lot of moves that we don't make or actions that we don't take come back to a fear, you know?
Right.
Like even with losing weight, like people are fearing that they're going to miss out on girls' nights out or like going out with friends or whatever. So they don't want to make changes because they think that that'll be more uncomfortable, you know? So I think that's why I love the education piece of so many things, because you get to show people like, hey, when you have all the facts, when you have all the resources you need, that like discomfort isn't as bad as you think it is, you know, or like when I have the tools and resources to understand enough of the shark's behavior to avoid them like circling me and like attacking me, then I'm not going to be as nervous to like be in there again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. That's,
Yeah.
it makes me want to do something crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite that.
Yeah.
But it like, yeah. If you, like I said, if you want to send like a pictures of the videos that you said,
Totally.
I can add in the YouTube video and everything. We can have everyone see that. So do you feel like with your, because I feel like you have a really good work ethic and like the drive to work hard and reach your goals. Do you feel like that's something that you learned at a young age, or is that something you developed later on?
My mom was teaching like Bible school or like a little I don't even know. Sunday school. Yeah.
Nice.
And that's how she found my
Shout out,
name.
Mom.
I know. Shout out Lynn Barnett.
There we go.
They found my name Clarice because she was teaching Sunday school and there was this like hardworking aunt named Clarice. And so I feel like from a young age, like even with school, high school, college, like I wanted to do well. And it could have been like the people pleasing in me too. But there was just like this like not needing to be learned drive where I wanted to excel with what I did. And I wanted to work really hard to get to where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I think like over time it's learning, I guess, like what that actually looks like in a productive sense, and not just being busy, but actually being productive with the actions that you're taking.
Yeah.
But I think it's easier when you're in environments with people that are also doing that. Like, I think if you're surrounded by a lot of people not really doing anything with their life, going out every weekend, like drinking a ton, I feel like you're not really inspired to do more or work harder because your environment is supporting a lower version of yourself. Whereas when you're filled with constant conversations and time and around people that are just either successful or have like an awesome relationship with the Lord or like a really like great relationship with their spouse or whatever it may be, it just calls you to like a different standard, you know? So I think it was kind of like innate. I think like just being named after a hardworking aunt, not that that had like any crazy value, but I do think that that was kind of like spoken over me at a young age.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. And then I think it just like refined into, okay, but what does that look like in a productive sense with actually running a business now as an adult, you know? So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So you mentioned your mom did Sunday school. What was that like growing up then? Were you in? Did she teach you when you were growing up at that
probably,
age?
We were pretty plugged into church from like ever since I was little. My parents got saved when they were, I think after they had their first kid. So that was like 10 years before I was even born.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 4.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
do
2
I.
brothers, 2 sisters. Yeah.
Sweet.
It's fun being a part of a bigger family.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Yeah, same. 2
Same.
brother. Or
Okay.
I'm a brother. I have another brother and then 2 sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just one sister.
Okay. Awesome. I was like, wow, all big families.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have 3 sisters and a brother.
Okay. I love it. It's fun growing up and like being around all them and then having kids and stuff now.
All the fighting when we were kids.
Yeah.
Are you a middle
right.
child?
I'm the baby.
Oh, you're the baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Oh, was that? Were you spoiled?
Okay, so I feel like
Yeah,
That
you
sounds
were.
like-
Yeah, you were. You're trying. Yeah,
You're trying. You can't get around this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say spoiled. It was more so like all of my siblings were like paved the way for what was acceptable. And then it
They
was
got
like,
spanked. You didn't. We understand.
no.
They understand.
Not as bad. Yeah. They had child abuse. No, I'm just kidding.
What's the
kidding.
age
Yeah.
gap between the next oldest?
2.5 years.
Okay, so that's pretty close.
Yeah. They were all but like that sister and then the brother above her. Everyone else was about like 2 years.
Okay.
Her and my brother were like 4. But yeah, so it was like a big family. But we grew up like in the church. mom taught Sunday school. My parents were both pretty plugged into like church and everything that way growing up. I'm thankful for that. I think a lot of people nowadays are kind of, I don't know, a lot of people like say they have a faith or like are spiritual about it because I think they want to have something to cling to and have hope, but I don't think it's like an actual like relationship with the Lord. So I think that that's something to like decipher. It's like off topic, but I'm thankful to have grown up in a home where that was like the pivotal part of why of everything that we did. I think it gives you hope in a lot of different aspects of life and seasons and like meaning, you know? And then especially being older and just like in environments where that isn't so prevalent, it makes me appreciate it even more, you know, just like the accountability factor of like us not like people that don't have a faith or don't have a relationship with the Lord and not having any sort of accountability. There's no like level to like draw them to when it comes to like, hey, you shouldn't be doing this.
Sure.
It's like, but why? You know,
The
like,
morals,
right.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's something that I've just always come back to as like the foundation of everything. So I'm very grateful to just have grown up in a home where my parents are just like, everyone says this, but like my parents are just the best. My dad's such like has such a serving heart and just a generous heart. And my mom is just like the sweetest little lady. So
that's awesome.
I'm very grateful.
So do you think just like the importance of fitness, nutrition, and health, what would you say, do you think growing up in a family like that, in a household like that with faith and guidance is important? Just like, or what does that look, how do you think that should be?
Yeah, I think, because like mental health, I think in the world today is really bad. You know, like everyone suffers with like anxiety or depression or something. And I think that having a relationship with the Lord, it's like you have, again, like something to like cling to versus just kind of being tossed with the wind. Choosing partners, like you have reason behind things, you know, versus people that don't have that. I feel like you're just kind of like guessing and hoping like, is this the right decision for my life now? So I feel like it provides a lot of clarity. Whereas like if you don't have that in your life, you live a lot of your life in confusion. Yeah.
Especially compared to like the woman you coach. A lot of like 30 to 35 year olds come to you later on when they need help. I feel like it's very similar with our relationship and faith with Jesus. It's like, it's such a blessing if we can learn that at a younger age and have guidance from people that we look up to and love, like our parents. Unfortunately, not everyone has that blessing of having, like your parents sound wonderful. And that's awesome that your mom was like teaching, you know, Sunday school. So when we have that opportunity, I feel like that's such a huge advantage compared to like not having that available and then going about life and then kind of figuring it out on your own. Not that it's not impossible, not that people can't do it, but I feel like it's such a good core foundation to have, just like with health and fitness. Yeah. If you're taught that at a young age, like how to eat healthy, like have to be active, get some steps in, go to the gym, take care of your body, compared to being 30 or 35 or 40 and be like, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, can you help me out? I feel like just a lot better advantage to have when you can start at a younger age.
Yeah. And I think just like the dynamic that comes with that, like when you have people pouring into you with sound reasoning, you know, the decisions that you make, you aren't going to be living with so much regret or bitterness or whatever it may be, you know, like when you're poured into at a younger age, again, with like good education on like, not just like, hey, this is what you should or shouldn't do, but this is also why you shouldn't because of the impact that it'll have on your life. I think that makes a monumental impact on like where people end up, you know, like look at anything like relationships nowadays and like people just like, I don't know how they choose to live their life and things that way. I do think that when you grow up with just like sound wisdom and people pouring into your life with like mentorships, like my brother is a good example of this. Him and his wife, they're big on, she's a nonprofit that she, her and him kind of run it together, but they equip young people with the tools to like pursue their passions, but they're constantly like mentoring these young generation of leaders, you know, and I think that that's so impactful because they're getting wisdom from people of where they want to be and the
Yeah.
lifestyle that they want to live. And like you see them walk throughout their relationship and it's like they model like marriage well, you know? Whereas nowadays I'm like, you don't get to see that all that much. Our parents aren't together anymore. And there's so much that is a result of that, like the broken home environment. So I'm very grateful to have been raised in that and like environment, even at Calvary. A little bit of trauma, but
oh yeah, I would love to hear about it. We can talk about that later. Yeah, we can talk about that later for sure.
I mean, it sounds like you're pretty close to your parents. Do you feel like
Yeah.
you are pretty close to like your siblings and your family? Or like how was
Yeah.
that kind of like growing up?
Yeah, I would say my parents I'm very close with as I've gotten older. I think being a little like single girly that's just running a business, doesn't have a relationship, doesn't have kids. Like I just love spending time with them as they're getting older. I just appreciate that time with them so much more. And so yeah, pretty close with them. Growing up, I was probably closest with the sister just above me. And then the 3 older siblings were always like a thing. And then as we've gotten older, I think I'm pretty close with my middle brother just because he's right in Chicago.
Okay.
And then my sister is in Nashville. I think girls relate a little bit differently than like a girl and a guy. But I don't know, all of them have served such like a different like voice of reason in my life or like lessons learned from each and every one of them. I think that's like the beauty of being the baby is like growing up on witnessing everyone else's like
Besides being
success
spoiled.
and besides the spoiling and no spankings. Witnessing their success or their failures or challenges and like just learning from them too. So growing up, I felt like I was kind of like an older soul just because I had all of them to kind of like learn from. But yeah, we're all pretty close. I would say my family was really close. We went through a lot when we were younger with like deaths in the family and things. And I think that just brought us really close together. So I'm grateful for that family unit and like actually having that a lot of people I feel like just don't.
Absolutely. So is there anything that you have like dreams or like passions or something that you'd like to focus on down the road outside of your business or fitness or anything? Is it pretty focused on your business right now?
Yeah, I would say like right now, all my energy is in like totality. I don't know if I will, I would say like never say never. Like I would love to kind of branch out and do something else or recently as I've grown a business, I feel like I get a lot more questions around like business. So maybe that's like an adventure one day too, is like helping women build businesses or things that way. But I don't know. I don't really have any like big aspirations outside of just truly seeing what totality can be. I didn't go all in, like full transparency. March 1 of 2025 was like the moment for me where I was like, I need to go all in. Like a lot of building with my business, I was a lot of hobby and like viewing it as like, will this make it? I don't know. And the doubts that come with that. So March was like a season for me where I really was like, okay, I need to go all in. I've invested a lot into understanding building a business now. And so I feel like I'm kind of just getting started.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy watching all your content. It looks like super professional. I always like watching like, especially like the food stuff you do, like going to like Qdoba for like the, how you can like have a healthier meal. You got to do one on Big Macs so we can feel better about ourselves.
I don't think that'll make the cut.
Kind of to wrap it up here. Do you have any final thoughts or for the listeners or the viewers on anything? Go swim with sharks, you know?
Oh gosh, put me on the spot a little bit. No, I'm kidding. I do think like your environment's everything. Like if you don't feel challenged, if you're feeling complacent or comfortable, you need to be around people that are calling you to the higher standard of yourself. I always say that within my community is it's like there's 2 versions of you. It's like the current version and the highest version of yourself. And a lot of times the highest version of yourself is the version that's like making better food decisions, going to the gym, going for your walk and all that stuff, but also just like creating a lifestyle and environment that you truly want to live. So if you're feeling complacent, if you're feeling comfortable, surround yourself and be in environments that call out that best version of yourself. I think that's where really true growth happens. And a lot of times it is really uncomfortable, but it's in the discomfort that I think you experience the most growth.
Preach.
And be the youngest child. And go swim with sharks.
Right.
Go swim with sharks.
And eat Big Macs.
No on the Big Macs.
Not an advocate.
I have a quick question. What are your thoughts? Then we can wrap it up here. What are your thoughts on energy drinks? I know you drink them.
Ooh, yes.
But what is like from
what's the best
more
one?
professional?
Oh, man.
And I know it's like you're into that kind of world. Like, what's your thoughts on energy drinks?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear.
So
Only tell us good things, though.
Yeah. So I would say there's a couple levels to that. So there's like some energy drinks that are a little bit cleaner, I would say, right? Like if you look at like a Ghost or Rain, maybe like Rain, I think is like partnered with like Monster. So there's some that are a little bit cleaner versus like Monster with like 40 grams of sugar, probably not the best bet. I've actually gone from drinking energy drinks like every day or like a half a can a day to only doing like 1 cup of coffee a day, just because I went through massive like adrenal fatigue earlier this year, and caffeine obviously contributes to that. So for me, I just can't tolerate them as much anymore. But I think it's more so just like making sure that you're not like, again, I work with a lot of high stress women, and a lot of times like people are so fatigued, so they supplement with more caffeine because they think that's energizing them. I think it's really just like, where are you at? Where's your health? Can you tolerate like 200 milligrams of caffeine in a can, 300 milligrams?
Just calling us out here.
This is going to throw off your guys' sleep tonight. I'm more worried about what time you're going to bed.
Sleep soundly.
I don't know how they do
I worked so hard today. I'm gonna sleep soundly.
I deserve this, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's just
That's
like
cool.
with anything, I think it's a case by case, right? Like you guys are probably fine. Someone who's in
That's all we need. You can stop right there.
Yeah.
No,
That's all done.
drink all the energy drinks
There you
2
go.
a day. I think it's just case by case, but I think again, like 30 grams of sugar in a can is never good. So opting in for more of like the cleaner versions, or
and
more,
we usually do like the 0 sugar, 0 calorie ones.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely better. There's obviously like just, I don't know, you have all the Celsius and like the lower caffeine content too. Like you can figure out kind of what works best for you, and then just drink the type that you need,
And like, I know it's probably not, like I said, I typically don't have, I'll have one usually like on the weekends.
Yeah.
And I always have like coffee in the day. My thing is like, I don't drink really. Like I like occasional wine here and there. I don't drink soda. So like my thing that I like to have
It's
is
an
an energy
energy
drink.
drink.
So I feel like, is it the healthiest thing? No. But is it,
Better
I'm
than
choosing
alcohol.
my
Yeah.
battle and I like it. So that's,
I'm that way too. I'm like, I drink a lot of water. And so,
Yeah,
or
and
I
water,
shouldn't say that. I like water, but I do
you get
that.
the fancy bottles.
Saratoga.
Yeah, Saratoga. I like to have like something other than water though. So that's why I was doing energy drinks for a while, because I'm like, oh, it's just a nice like bubbly drink to have. But I'm a big proponent, like again, with the like food videos and stuff, like I'm really big on, a lot of people think dieting has to be like so strict and rigid and you need to like follow all these rules all the time. And I'm really big on just like life, like if you do enjoy drinking, like, okay, let's just do it in moderation. There's no need for binge drinking, or if you enjoy energy drinks, we don't need 3 a day,
Well, I mean, that could be debated. No, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we drink energy drinks here on this podcast, so that's for sure.
It's good. A lot of people do shots on podcasts, so I feel like that's got to be better than shots,
Oh, really? A lot of people, I don't know if I've ever seen them before.
Maybe
take
not a
shots.
lot. I've seen like one podcast. That
So all of them.
What about smelling salts?
oh gosh.
Have you ever done smelling
we got
salts?
some
We have
salts
smelling
right there.
salts.
That one's really strong.
That was the worst decision
I've
ever.
actually never done. I've smelled them like from
Yeah.
afar, but
Yeah.
I've never done them like up close.
I mean, it's probably not
It's hell.
great to just do it without like
Doing
lifting or doing
something.
something
Right.
while
Yeah.
you're just sitting and talking
A
to my
podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally, we would just like take a quick little lift to get hyped
going.
up for the podcast. Yeah.
Do you guys do a little before every podcast, or is it
Not
only on the
every
low energy?
Well,
Yes,
that
it
one in that bag, half well, Wes, who isn't here right now, but he was in tears. And you two kind of got messed up a little bit. I was like,
it's
I'm not gonna take a sniff of that right now. So
But you want to just like waft it.
Yeah.
and then the whole room smells like it.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
but
Not this podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe another time.
Yeah.
But Clarice, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
It's
thank
been
you
a
very
pleasure, a lot of good conversation. It's been fun learning about your business. Guys, make sure to check out all of her social media, her website. I'm going to have it in the description. If you're looking to get some online coaching or just follow her Instagram page or something.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of good content,
Morning
a lot of good
steppies.
stuff too. Yeah.
Morning Steffi.
Morning steppies. Or if you want inspiration to go swim with sharks or something.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to Italy this
Ooh,
fall, so that'll
that's
be my
amazing.
next adventure.
You do something crazy?
Maybe I'll get my mom to do something crazy.
There
yeah.
you go.
we'll have to hear about that.
Yeah, that'll be the next podcast.
Okay.
What I did in Italy.
All
Yeah.
right.
Nice. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate all of you guys. God bless you. We will catch you next time. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe and share. This is the Campfire Council Podcast.
Let's go. Let's go.
Nice.